Welcome back, Seahawks fans. My name's Josh. This is the 12 Talk podcast. Now, some of you may think, why is he by himself? That's because this is a mock draft episode. This is going to be my value draft. Any of you that have seen my mock drafts on social media will know I'm a big fan of trading back. I think there's a lot of value in this draft. So what I'm going to do today is go through a mock draft, see what we can get value-wise, see what we can fill in, and then we'll go from there. But before we go on, please don't forget, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. You can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Amazon, Google, everywhere else where you can find your good podcasts. And if it so takes you, feel free, buy us a coffee or a beer. It all helps. And very soon we'll be announcing our charity partner, where we'll be giving some of that straight to them. And for anyone who's wondering where I got this fantastic hoodie from, you can get these at Mugs NFL on Twitter. They're fantastic. They do custom throwback gear and the delivery is fantastic. The service is amazing. I would highly advise you go and check them out. But without further ado, let's hit the theme music. Still love it. There's no getting around it. So for this mock, I'm going to be using the mock draft database website. I just love it. I think the layout's fantastic and the accessibility of it is brilliant. So I've put it on fast. I'm going to be looking at trade down targets. I'm going to be looking at where we lie on the board, who's available, and what we can get for our best value. So let's go for it. And obviously, with this being a mock draft simulator, it's not going to be 100% accurate. There will be some players that are available that may not be, but let's see what we can get here. So first of all, the first trade we've got is from the Chiefs. For our 16th, they're offering 133rd and a first, a third, and a seventh next year. I'm not interested in that. I really want to give Mike McDonald some weapons this year. Second trade offers from the Eagles. They want to give us a 50th, 170th, 189th, next year's first and second. That is tempting, but again, not for me. The Lions. Now, these are one of my usual trade partners here because I see them as a team that are going to look to build on last year's success. Here they're offering me 207th, next year's first, second, and seventh. I'm not in for that. And then you've got the Commanders offering me 67th, next year's first and fourth. That's a no. And then the Cowboys with an absolutely ridiculous haul. They're offering me 173rd, 213th, 231st, 242nd, next year's first and next year's third and fourth. No, I'm just going to decline that. So who's on the board here? Jaden Daniels. In real life, that's not going to happen. I think he'll go top 10. Joe Alt, again, I think he's a top 10 pick. I think he may go to someone like the Giants or the Titans. Brock Bowers is still there, and that's a possibility at 16th, depending on how the board falls. Quinion Mitchell, Byron Murphy, Cooper DeJean, who's someone I'm really interested in and think he could be that Kyle Hamilton for Mike Mack's defense. But I'm going to explore a trade and see what I can get here. Now, like I said, I like to go to the Lions because I think they're going to be a team that's going to be looking to build. And I want to see if I can get a first and a second. I can. And I really want to pick up a second round pick here, just purely because I think there's still value there. I think we can still get a player that will really fit our needs at pick 29. And then at 61, we can get something else as well. So let's hit that. There you go. So the Lions are in. And now here we sit at number 29. And at 29, there's options. We could go Brock Bowers. As we all know, our tight end room is bare, unless some news comes out that we've re-signed Disley to a cheaper contract, Parkinson, or we tell Noah Fant he's going to be TE1, he might re-sign. Bowers is there. We've got Robinson as well from Penn State. Graham Barton, who typically has played centre. He's also played tackle, but I think he could be an excellent guard in the NFL level. Adonai Mitchell and Ennis Rekeshaw Jr. You've still got Xavier Worthy, Bo Nix, and Jordan Morgan here. And obviously, the man that everyone wants as a Seahawks fan is Michael Penix. Jury's still out for me. So for me, for this pick, if I'm looking at the value and what I think we can get out, for the first time in one of my mocks, I'm going to take Brock Bowers here. Absolute weapon. Will help pad out that tight end room. He will be TE1 unless we can re-sign someone else. And let's see who else. So we've got 6 trade offers. The Commanders offering us 101, next year's 2nd and 6th. That's a no. The Niners, I'm not going to trade with them. There is no way on this green earth that I will be trading with the Niners. I won't even tell you what they're. You can see if you're watching the YouTube video. The Pats have offered us 104, 136, next year's 2nd and 7th. It's a no. Dolphins have offered us 157, 200, next year's 2nd. Again, a no. Bengals in at 116, 176, 196, and next year's 2nd. Again, a no. And then the Ravens have offered us 134, 226, and next year's 2nd. I'm rejecting that because there are 2 players here that I really, really want to take. As we know, our linebacker room is bare. The cupboard is bare. We've got nothing there. There are 2 players here that I think would be so intriguing to Mike Mack that it'd be too hard to pass up on them. Peyton Wilson and Junior Colson. Now, I'm high on both of these players. Peyton Wilson showed out so much on his combine. He showed everyone exactly what he can do. My only reservation with him is his injury. And that is a big reservation because we are marred by injuries year after year. And I don't know if I can risk a 2nd round pick on someone that has the potential to get injured again. Now, then it comes to Colson. And Colson obviously played with Mike Mack at Michigan. And he is a fantastic weapon at linebacker. He's good in coverage. He can blitz. He'll run through gaps. He hits people. And that's one thing. He's such a secure tackler. Fundamentally, his angles of pursuit, his body angle, the biomechanics, everything around it works so well. So I'm going to pick Junior Colson in this. Okay. Next, we've got pick 78. And we've got 2 trade offers. The Texans coming in with 86, 124, and a 5th round the next year. It's a no. And then you have got the Pittsburgh Steelers coming in with pick 84, 120, and next year's 7th. Now, I'm just going to hold fire on that one and see who we've got available. Peyton Wilson's still there. Now, if we wanted to go for Peyton Wilson, it's there. But I've picked Junior Colson. I think we are going to pick someone up. I will either re-sign Brooks. Wagner, I don't think will come back. I'm sorry to say it, Seahawks fans. I think we're going to try and get younger and quicker. And as good as a leader and legend that Wagner is, I don't see it happening. And I'm gutted by that because he is a Seahawks legend. So I'm actually going to go on this one. I'm going to go for Rook Ororo. Say that 5 times fast. Again, fantastic combine. Great production at Clemson. He's really going to just slot into that D-line for us. Perfect pick for us. 2 trades coming on here. For our 81st, we've then got New York Giants offering us a round 3, round 4, and round 6 next year. That's a no. And then again, the Niners are coming in to try and offer us something. It's a bit ridiculous. They're offering us 94, 125, 176, and 249, plus next year's 6th round. Tempting as it is, I refuse to give the Niners any more weapons to build that roster up. So I'm just going to reject that straight away there. Peyton Wilson is still on the board here. And I'm really tempted to take him. So tempted. But then we also need more edge help. We've got Adisa Isaac, and we've got Jonah Ellis just sat there on the board. We've also got Kieran Amagaji, who is the tackle from Yale. Now, as Seahawks fans, we all know that we're having issues with Lucas. The reports are that his knee's going to be fine. He's going to be back to normal. But again, that injury history really, really irks me. And I'm not sure if I can pass that up. So he could be someone we could slot straight in. We've also got Mason Smith as well, who's available there. I think the pick here, just purely looking at what we need and the fact I don't want a linebacker room full of rookies, I'm going to go for Amagaji. So he's in there. He is another tackle that we can have in there. Now, Mitch and I have spoken about Lucas and said with his injury history, we may be able to kick him inside to guard. And as a lot of our guards have gone, that might be a good idea. 2 trades coming in for our 119th. We have the Eagles, with giving us 160, 171, and next year's 5th and 7th. I'm not going to take it. And again, the Niners are coming in. They're desperate here, aren't they? Niners are coming in for 125, 209, 214, and 215. Now, that's a heck of a haul, but I don't think I can do it. I just can't. Any self-respecting Seahawks fan cannot trade with the Niners, in my opinion. We cannot give them more weapons and more ability to outshine us, especially with a first-year head coach who's instilling new schemes, new personnel. I'm rejecting that straight away, which then leaves us with a board that looks like this. We've still got Brendan Rice, who I would love to have as a Seahawk. DJ James, the Auburn cornerback. We've got Cedric Gray, who is the linebacker from North Carolina. Jalen McMillan is also fascinating to me as well, because I think with Ryan Grubb, he would know exactly how to use him. And with Tyler Lockett, with all of the cuts we've made recently, cutting Adams, Diggs, Disley, Monet's gone as well. I think you may also be looking at some others. I think Ballore is going to be near the top of that list because he's aging. He is a special teams ace and a special teams captain, but we have other players. We'll draft players that could also be special team aces. Cade Stover's also there, but now as we've taken Bowers with our first round pick, it's not really something that we need to look at. Who else? We've got Michael Pratt on the board, Luke McCaffrey, who was my absolute darling of this combine. I loved what he put on tape. His route running, everything was so smooth, such soft hands. And I'd also love to see him go against his brother every year. But I don't see the value there. Now, even with those top prospects that have dropped, I'm looking at filling in some needs with some value. And one player that I absolutely fell in love with, and Mitch is very much the same, is Sione Vaki, who came out of Utah. He's a Ute. Now he's a safety. He's hard-hitting, fundamentally fantastic, and played both sides of the ball. Because they had such an issue with their running back injuries, they asked Vaki to play at running back. Now, you have to be a special type of player to play at that level and be able to just go, yeah, whatever you need from me. That, for me, is a consummate team player. That's exactly what we need. Our safety room is looking bare. I think, obviously, we've got Sutherland, who may have a breakout year. We've got Kobe Bryant, who I genuinely think Mike Mack may look at and think, that's a weapon. That is an intelligent football player who I can then mould. But for this, I'm going to take Vaki. I can't pass it up. Oh, but then James Williams is also there. So if you don't know James Williams, he is a Miami Hurricane. He was asked to play linebacker, safety, and cornerback throughout college. Fantastic production. And that's really thrown a spanner in the works. So I didn't see him to start with. He's listed as safety on this mock draft simulator. I think others have him listed as a linebacker. But again, an absolute weapon. And this is something that this is a really hard one for me because I love Vaki. I think he could be fantastic for us. We've got 4 picks left in this draft, unless I can find a trade partner and maybe move back a bit. I'm going to have to take Williams. I think Williams in a Mike Mack defense would be an absolute weapon. You would not know where he is, where he's coming from. Is he blitzing? Is he playing a linebacker role? Is he a safety? Is he going to drop back? He's got the coverage skills. He's got the ability to hit the gaps. It's got to be Williams. Okay. And then let's keep going through this. See what else we've got. Oh, and look at that. Our Niners are back in again for another trade. It's a no. Cardinals, I'm not trading in division. Not a chance. No. Vikings have come in for our 151. They want to trade the 190. Next year's 4th and 7th. No again. Eagles back in again. Wanting to trade 170. Next year's 5th and 2/7. No. The Bills have come in with 159, 202, and next year's 7th. Now I'm tempted by that. I just need to see who else is on the board. And then the Raiders have come in with 221, next year's 7th, next year's 4th, and next year's 6th. I'm going to keep that Bills one on the board. I just want to see who's available. So we've still got Bo Braid, we've still got Sione Vaki, Javon Baker, Tommy Eichenberg. If we trade back, there is a huge chance that we could still get, if he keeps falling, Vaki, but I think he'll go in this spell here. Baker again, he's really intriguing to me. We've got Javon Foster as well from Missouri. Now, Chow Smith-Wade is someone else that I'm really intrigued by for our cornerback room. I thought he showed out at the Senior Bowl. Jacob Cowing as well, the wide receiver from Arizona. Who else have we got down here? Jarian Jones. And we've got, oh, there is more. There's more. Let's see. And my quarterback is still on the board. Now, even though I'm a Ducks fan, I have ties to Florida. I've got huge respect, and I still follow the Seminoles from time to time. Jordan Travis was so unlucky with his injury that he's dropped down so many draft boards. I think put him behind Geno for a year, let him learn the system, learn how Geno plays from an established vet. He could be fantastic. But I'm not sure if he's going to be there at 194. Let's see if I can find a trade partner to move up from 194. So we've got now, if I could trade with Buffalo, I'd have to give away a lot. That's the only issue. I'm going to have to risk it with Travis. We may be able to re-sign Drew Lock, and I don't think no, you know what? I'm going to take this trade with the Bills. So my 151 is going to the Bills, and I'm going to take the 159th and the 202nd. And let's see who's still on the board. And Vaki is still on the board. I've got 4 trade offers. So I've got the Eagles coming in with 170, next year's 5th and 2/7. That's not enough for me. The Ravens giving me 164, 248, next year's 6th and next year's 7th. Again, I don't want to give them more weapons, even though they're not in conference. The Jags have come in with 195, next year's 4th and 7th. That's a no from me. And then the Cardinals have come in with next year's 4th, 5th, and 7th. It's a no. For this one, because I absolutely love the player, and I'm fully aware I've not addressed our interior O-line, but I'm hoping I'll be able to with my next pick. I'm taking Vaki here again, because, again, I just think if you're going to have a safety room, you want them to be young, hungry, and versatile. And I think between James and Vaki, I think we've got that there. Now, we've got the Ravens coming in with another trade for our 194th. They want to give us 248th and next year's 6th. I'm rejecting that. And I'm going to see exactly what we've got on the board now. So we've got Julian Pearl, the offensive tackle from Illinois. We have got multiple cornerbacks here. Drake Nugent as well, who's from Michigan. Tyron Hopper's still there. Jalen Ford. And typically, my guy's gone. Now, I am not aboard the Joe Milton train. Anyone who has heard our podcast, listened to it previously, or seen social media through our Twitter will know that I genuinely think he has a rocket of an arm. There is no denying that. He can sling that ball. But I worry about the touch. I worry about the short passes, the dink and dunks over the top. It's a real concern for me. Looking at the interior O-line, so we've still got Brendan Coleman still there as well. Drake Nugent, or Brandon Coleman. Who else have we got? Edgar Kuhn as well from Florida. Now, I know I should be looking at interior O-line, and I've probably missed quite a few, which will annoy some people. Zach Zinter is someone I usually look at as well, but for this draft, I thought I'd look at really beefing up some other areas of need, because we can pick up people in free agency. I really like Sam Hartman, the cornerback from Notre Dame as well. No, I'm going to pick up Coleman. Yeah, Coleman is the one. There we go. One trade offer for our 202, which is going to be from the Cowboys. They're offering us next year's 6th and 7th. So no. Right. So looking at the board as it sits now, we've got Jalen Simpson right at the top there, projected at 163rd, and we could pick him up at 202. We've got Roe Terrence from Arizona State, Drake Nugent still there, Drake Stoops, Tyke Smith, who's someone I've taken previously, but we don't need any more safeties. Cedric Johnson, the edge from Mississippi, and Nelson Caesar, the edge from Houston. And there's AJ Barner as well, who I think is a fantastic option for us at tight end. And if we've got our premium tight end here in Brock Bowers, Barner might be the pick here. I think our cornerback room is set. It's fantastic at the moment. If we can re-sign some players, if we can pick up some cheap free agents as well, and let's not forget we've got UDFAs. Now, all of this mock is done before free agency, which is something I need to caveat. I'm not a fan of going all in on mocks before we've had the free agency period, because I really do think that will give you the best indicator of our needs there. I think I'm going to take AJ Barner. Tip Ryman's there as well from Illinois. But Barner, I think he offers so much in the run game. He's got the athletic ability. He's a good blocker. He's got to be in there for us. Right, with our last pick, 233. We've got no trade offers. On the board is Jordan Whittington, the wide receiver from Texas. Frank Gore Jr., who I think at the Shrine Bowl was superb. Jason McClellan as well, the running back from Alabama. Who else? We've got Liafo, who's the linebacker from Notre Dame. Bertrand, the linebacker from Notre Dame as well. We've got Brennan Jackson, the edge from Washington State. We've got Jalix Hunt as well is someone that I was not high on before the combine, but I saw him at the combine and I thought he has got some fantastic moldable tools there. The free agency market for running backs is quite expansive. DJ Dallas, don't think it's been re-signed. I really want to take Frank Gore Jr. here, but when you look at our running back room at the moment, Ken Walker, who we know is such a threat, he should be an 1,000-yard rusher every single year, plus receptions. Then you've got the absolute battering ram at Charbonnet, who I think will hopefully be used by Ryan Grubb properly up the middle. He should be going through A and B gaps and not trying to cut it outside. And then I think This is a difficult one. I'm very conscious that I've not taken a wide receiver here or an edge player, and I know the Seahawks philosophy is that you can never have too many edges. Darrell Taylor, I do not see being re-signed. His production has been so hit and miss. He can be electric for 4 games in a whole season, and then he is just nullified by everything. I think I'm going to take Hunt here. Taj Washington is there, but then and Jaquan Jackson. There's so many options here, but so many of these guys may end up. Kenny Logan, fantastic value pick there at 225. I think there's going to be a lot of UDFAs. There'll be a lot of punts, and knowing John Schneider in our actual draft, there may be quite a few trade backs to pick some of these really good value picks at the end. But I'm going to go for Jalix Hunt, purely because I think he is a ball of clay with the right physical traits that you need for a top edge, and he worked well in a rotation. So Hunt is my last pick, and there we go. All right, so let's just recap this. So with our 16th, we traded back. We got 29 and 61 from the Lions. We took Brock Bowers, the tight end from Georgia, at 29. At 61, we took Junior Colson, the linebacker from Michigan. It was a coin flip for me between him and Peyton Wilson. I love Wilson, but again, I'm really, really worried about injuries. Rook Orororo, the D lineman from Clemson, who will just be able to come into a rotation brilliantly. If we can re-sign Big Cat, if we keep Reed, and then we've got Draymond, who I think Mike Mack's going to look at and think, I can do things with you. Unlike the previous regime, I think Aurora will be able to come in and just have a nice sort of rotation there. Kieran Amagaji, who we can slot in there at tackle. And then I went for my 2 safeties, who, in my opinion, are our 2 best value in this whole draft. We've got James Williams, who is the safety from Miami Hurricanes, who, again, as I said, has played linebacker, safety, cornerback, absolute weapon. And then if you look at that again, we've got Sione Vaki, who is the safety from Utah, safety/running back. How many times do you hear that? And I think that he's going to be a fantastic piece. He may start in special teams, but I will be happy to see him absolutely plow through people on special teams. I then went for the interior O-line and took Brandon Coleman at 194. And then at 202, after my other trade back, I took AJ Barner, the tight end from Michigan, because Mitch thinks of him really highly. Having looked at his tape, I think he offers so much, and that's a great value pick to pad out our tight end. We get a veteran tight end in there, and I think we'll be set. And then finally, with pick 233, I took Jalix Hunt, who is the edge rusher out of Houston Baptist. Watch his combine. Watch the fluidity of his movement, the aggressiveness of his hands. I think he really showed out, and there's a high chance that he may get picked higher than that. But with that, let me know what you think. I'd love to hear from you. Obviously, we are going to be coming live. Mitch has got his own mock to do next as well, so that's going to be really exciting. This episode will be coming to you after we've spoken to Charlie Wilson, who is the NFL writer for the Daily Mirror and Daily Telegraph here in the UK. By all means, get involved with any of our podcasts. I said before, you can follow us on Instagram, X, Twitter, whatever they call it now. We have a Facebook page. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell on YouTube, Spotify, all your favorite podcasting apps. And feel free, join our Discord. We've got a growing community. We've got some fantastic people in there. We've got other Seahawks podcasters that are in there as well. And they have been so beneficial, and it's so nice to just be able to talk to people around the world about Seahawks stuff. But with that, until next time, go Hawks.